Hey folks, welcome back to the shop. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little while. I appreciate it. Today, we're going to be building some birdhouses. Birdhouses for birds, not for people. So what do I mean by birdhouses for birds, not people? Well, on the old YouTuber there's people that are building crazy, extravagant birdhouses. And they're selling them for hundreds of dollars. Good for them. Um, I often wonder, do birds actually care? Truth is, they don't. I downloaded and printed what is called the Definitive Guide for Building Your Own Birdhouses. This is on a website called the Birders Report, which I'll type a thing down below that you can look at it. And they have done research and they know what birds want and how they nest and things like that. And they want people to build bird houses for the birds, not so that their yard looks attractive. So that's what I'm doing today. We're just going to make most of the plans in here are designed for cedar fence pickets, so that's cool. As you saw, we're making two. One is a bluebird box, the other is a common wren style birdhouse. So let's just get to it and get it finished. Oh, by the way, last Saturday, this is Friday today. Is this Friday today? I've lost track of my days. Anyway, I put a video out Tuesday. Okay, this is Friday. The Saturday, now it's all confused. Anyway, Saturday, I spent 6 hours in this shop and didn't build a thing. I spent 6 hours cleaning, organizing. You get those days. One of those deals where you just need to make a place for things because I still haven't completely moved in yet. So I'm not going to tell you everything I did, but I'm not going to tighten up my camera angles on this video. So if you see things that have changed, and not necessarily changed, but things that are different in the shop, let me know what they are. I know what I did, and I'm just curious. If you notice different things that I've done, go ahead and comment on it and just say, hey, I noticed this is done, or I noticed that you did that. Just let me know. I'm curious if you folks recognize the things that I did. In the meantime, let's get some cedar flying. So what I've done is I've set up a stop block that this is basically going to come to, cut that, and away I go. So I got to get these three cut. This is set at 9 inches. I'm going to square this angle up a little bit because it looks a little bit off, but I just want to make sure. Hopefully the sound of the fan that's right beside you right there, it's right there. Turn, look. Never mind. Anyway, hopefully it's not too loud. Hopefully it's, well, this is on. You should be getting this and not that. Okay, so a couple things I found along the way as I'm reading their instructions and building, which is their instructions are really good. One mistake I found is they wanted the floor to be 4 inches by 5.5, which is what your fence picket is. That measurement's wrong. It's wrong. It's more like 4 5/16 is what it should be. Not a big deal. The other thing I'm running into is cedar fence pickets are warped. So you're going to have to work around that. It just is what it is. So that's what I'm doing. 3 of these sides are all going to be glued, 1 is not. Okay, and we'll get into that in a minute. It occurs to me that I thought that I had this all recording, but I have three-quarter. I have a lot of a birdhouse built. So, sorry. The only variations that I made from their design is they have a flat roof. And sorry, I moved you over there. This sun strip here is horrible. They had a flat roof, so I cut just a slight angle on this just to give it a little bit of a pitch. And that's going to kill 2 birds with one. Oh, we're not killing birds. We're building bird houses. Sorry about that. That's going to accomplish 2 things. One, you need to have air ventilation in this thing. They stress that. You got to have air vents in this thing. So this is going to allow the rain to run off, and it's going to give me ample, what's that called? Ventilation. So the part that you didn't see, because bad cameraman, these 2 sides are glued and nailed This side does not get glued. And I use 2 finish nails so that you can open it up to clean it out. Okay, so keep that in mind. This is all about the birds, not about the people. And what I'm finding is the warped boards are making this a nightmare. So we're not looking for, you know, high-end furniture here. It needs to just work. But that's going to let a bunch of rain in, so we're going to go ahead and clamp that up. See if we can get that out of there. Can we do it this way?
Sure, maybe. Let's see. Might be lined up. Two different heights. Maybe I should measure this. That'd be relatively tight. 3 and 6, which is a technical. This is what, 5 8 1/2 inch thick, so we're going to go with 3 1/4. Since I know that this is worked horribly, I'm going to put a couple back in the chute. I'm going to put a couple right here. Hopefully that's enough to hold it together. Oh yeah, no workage. Well, that quick is home.
This is a Bluebird box. Okay. Going off of their instructions, what I am going to do, I can't do it to this one because that's the one that lifts. But I've tried to clamp as much of the warp out of these boards as I can. I don't know if I was successful or not. But apparently Bluebirds want a specific type of hole. You can't just drill a hole in it and say, here you go, Bluebird, have at it. Specific openings and things like that. This is all crazy stuff that I'm learning. The first one's always a nightmare, and then after that they get easier. The nice thing is they give you your cut list. Like I said, if you get this paperwork from them, just know that that bottom is not the right size. You're going to have to cut it, I think it was 4 5/16. But that's one. Now that I know how to do these and how to get the warp out of the boards, you can knock these things out. Like I said, that's $15. Online, I saw them $15. You could probably, if you get a bird watcher, you could probably get a little bit more out of them, especially in my area. My area, everything goes for a little bit more money, so I could probably get 20 out of that, maybe 25. That's going in the inventory. I'll just batch out a bunch of them. So let me see, maybe I'll pick another one and build it for this video. I'll have to go back and see how long the video is and decide if that's what I'm going to do or not. Okay, so I am going to build another one because as far as the video is concerned, it doesn't take that long to make them. This one is a wren. Everybody in America has wren birds. Wrens. I don't know what they're called. Wrens. What you saw me do was basically cut a front and a back. This one's kind of angular. It's kind of a cool looking house. But they have it being made out of a 7 1/4 fence picket, and I don't have one of those. So I'm going to alter the design a little bit. I can still keep the base of it the same size, which is probably the most important because that's where the bird's going to be. So we'll just get to building this one. What I'm finding in this paperwork is that their cut list and their instructions don't necessarily always match. Their cut list shows the bottom being 3 3/4 inches wide. In the instructions, they show it being 3. I'm going to make it 3 because math, it's just easier. I have just come off of the edge of the pitch, found center, 1.5 inches either way, and there's just going to be an angle cut to that way. Again, it's the base is going to be the right size. The overall width of it going this way is not, and I think that's going to be fine. So measure these out, get these cut out. Then we got to look at roof structure and stuff like that. Okay. Can't really cut that on the miter saw, so we're going to have to do it on a table saw. All I did was took my least favorite tool, the Pittsburgh brand angle finder. Got the angle. Yeah. Set it to my miter gauge and lined it up that way. Again, I'm just coming off of the tip to wherever it lands. Seems safe. So knowing that that angle is right now, I should just essentially be able to take this one, do the same thing. Except turn the dust collector on this time. Golly. Okay, got my front and my back cut. The rest of this is now all straight cuts. Nothing else you need to worry about. According to them, I don't know. I might have to cut something round. I don't know. But I'm going to work on this later. One, because it's hot in here. Two, we're going to dinner in a half hour. I ain't missing that. So when I get back from dinner, we'll get this finished up and call it a wrap. Well, good morning. It's the next day. I didn't come back out last night after dinner. We went to the local Mexican restaurant, which is an amazing restaurant. We love that. I got something different. Don't do that at a Mexican restaurant. Super spicy. Didn't necessarily agree with me, and I just didn't want to come back out last night. So now we're just, if you remember, we left it off that we had our front and back done. I'm probably just going to time lapse the rest of this, putting this together, because this one's pretty simple from here on out. I'm going to run through the directions just to make sure that what I'm doing is what they're asking me to do. Other than that, we're just going to get to it. Okay, one quick note. Looking at the instructions, it does say this roof panel should be screwed on, not nailed on, because again, you have to be able to get in there and clean it out. So we're going to screw this one in place. They wanted to cut angles, you know, for your roof to match. Listen, it's the same thing. It's easier. Just do it this way. Just make sure that you measure your pieces out so that they're the same on both sides, because otherwise it'll look silly. Okay. Thank you. That was loud. Hey, one more quick tip for you. I am using these little 1¼ deck screws to screw this on. And of course it's got a, I used to remember the name of it. I don't remember it now. Star bit, whatever it is. I always keep a Phillips bit in my drill, in my driver. So when you're using this, just throw your Phillips bit in the box. And then that way when you're done and you take the Torx bit out, that's what it is. You take the Torx bit out, you throw it in there, you know where your Phillips bit is. It's in the box where you just got the drawers. Anyway, that's my tip of the day. Oh! Wah, wah, wah. Okay, so there you go. 2 practical birdhouses. Okay, are they perfect? No, but do birds care? No, I really don't think they do. As I said on the Bluebird box, you have to leave a way to clean it out. They stress vent holes and everything, which is why I kind of cantilevered that. On the Wren box, as I said, it's just screw in part of the roof so that you can take it apart and clean it. It always takes longer to build the first one. And then after that, once you have it figured out, you can crank these things off in no time. You know what fence pickets cost. I have seen this one online, I don't know, 15 bucks, 20 bucks. I could probably in this area get 20 bucks for it. So I'm going to say probably the same for this. And once, like I said, once you get it figured out, you can crank these things off in, I don't know, 20 minutes, because you're just going to batch out all the cutting, get all your stuff cut at one time, and then away you go. So anyway, there we go. These 2 in particular ones are going to end up in my yard somewhere. And then I get to practice on the next ones. So, hey, thanks for coming and hanging out for a while. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you watched till the end. Oh, by the way, what did you notice in my shop that's different? Did you notice anything? Were you even watching? It's okay if you weren't. But if you were and you saw some stuff, I'm just curious because I notice things in other people's shops. Oh, that's different. So if you notice something, drop it down below. Let me know. In the meantime, thanks for watching. God bless you. I'll see you on the next one.